Hey everyone, Dale here, aka Wonderknight, back with another video. Today I wanted to start a series of videos about games I finished. This will be episode 1, and every couple months I'll do some videos about what games I played, what games I was able to finish. This will be games that I started in October up till now that I finished. There was 3 games. And yeah, I'm really excited to go through them with you guys. And the first game was a recommendation that I got from Adam at work. I've been looking forward to playing this game for a really long time. It's been on my radar. I was kind of waiting for that spooky season to start so I could get into it. And that game is Dead Space on the PS5. It's a third-person survival horror game and a remake of the 2008 game of the same name. It takes place on a ship called the Ishimura, which is a planetary mining ship that's gone silent above the planet Aegis 7. You play as Isaac Clarke, a starship engineer that's sent along with the Kellian crew to investigate the Ishimura. Man, this game has jump scares, and it does it in such a way that it doesn't have too many where you get used to or accustomed to them. It has just the right amount that you don't expect it, and then there it is, whammo, you're jumping out of your seat. They do a really good job with that in this game. There's also an amazing array of weapons in the game, including the plasma cutter, the line gun, the ripper, and the force gun, to name a few. They're all upgradable through the game's upgrade system, including upgrading your armor as well. My favorite was the plasma cutter. It's simple yet effective. And in this game, unlike other survival horror games where we're accustomed to shooting or aiming for the head, this game throws all that out the window. You need to go for the limbs in this game. If you want to be effective and take down your enemy in Dead Space, you have to go for the limbs. And that's why I like the plasma cutter, because it was so effective in taking out a leg or taking out an arm. And the really cool part as well in this game is you can use some of the enemy's arms, because they have some sharp objects as part of their arms. You can actually, once you knock that arm off, you can pick up that arm and use it in a way against your other enemies. If you also think you're going to get through Dead Space without some abilities, you're wrong. This game has 2 abilities that are a very important part of playing Dead Space: Kinesis and Stasis. Now, they are modules that you add to your suit, but both are needed and required to be a good Dead Space player, to get through the game, to help you survive the Ishimura. You need these abilities. Stasis is used in many different situations to hold things in place, to lock things in place, to maneuver pieces that you need. And Kinesis is used everywhere from picking up part of an enemy's body to throw it and kill another enemy, or to grab a piece of metal, a sharp object to throw and throw very quickly through another enemy, and even, maybe even attach them to a wall with it. So both abilities are super important in this game. I highly recommend playing Dead Space. Had an amazing time with it. I couldn't wait to get home from work when I was playing it, get downstairs in the game room, turn off all the lights, and just be taken away to the Dead Space world. It was super enjoyable. It's one of those games that now that I've played it, it is one of my favorite spooky games. It really, really made me want to be playing that game every chance I got. And, if you're a gamer that doesn't have a lot of time on your hands, I know we all, have busy lives and lots going on. A lot of us are parents with children. It's about a 12 to 15 hour game. So you can actually get through it fairly quick. And I can't wait to play it again next season. I have a lot left I want to do in New Game Plus, and I do want to platinum it, but I also wanted to move on to some other games. So let's talk about those. The next game I played was Until Dawn, a third-person interactive drama horror game where you assume control of 8 young adults trying to survive the night on Blackwood Mountain. I don't want to give up too much of the story, because that's where Until Dawn is at its best. Telling a story, making you choose your own adventure, basically. It really uses butterfly effect in the game, where one decision has an impact on another and an impact on another. So you basically can choose how you want this to play out. So I don't really want to say too much about the story, but it really is an interactive adventure. Until Dawn has beautiful visuals in it, and I found myself just sitting back and going, wow, it's gorgeous. It really is. And the atmosphere, the setting they put you in, everything looks so beautiful. It also has many collectibles in it that you have to collect, including totems. Now, totems are very important in the game because they are a precognition of things that may happen in the future, whether it be a death, whether it be an action that may happen, whether it be maybe a choice. These collectibles are all play a part in putting the story together in Until Dawn. There's also an in-game menu screen that houses all your collectibles and totems for review. So you can go into the pause menu, look at a collectible, look at a clue, refer back to your totems so you can decide what your best course of action is during the game. There's 10 chapters in Until Dawn, and I believe each chapter has an intermission between it. These intermissions are very important in the game where they will actually address the player directly. Now, I don't want to ruin this as well, but it is an important piece of the game where you're making choices, you're making decisions in that intermission that will affect things. I played the PS4 version of Until Dawn, which is from 2015. However, they did remake the game and release it this year on the PS5 in early October. They just kind of upped the visuals and made some slight changes to it. But I ended up playing the old one. It was a freebie. I could get it for free, so I ended up playing that one. I like playing these interactive video games like Heavy Rain, Nobody Wants to Die, and Until Dawn. They give me a break in between other games to kind of sit back and just relax a bit, watch a story, and usually that's their best quality is their stories. And they usually leave me feeling very satisfied with what I've just played. And Until Dawn was no different. I had a great time playing it. I love playing horror games at this time of year, and it was a good one. It had some great scenes. It had a good story, and it left me speechless a lot of the time. So it was a fantastic game to play. And the last game I played for spooky season, because I always want my spooky season to go into November, because spooky season's too short, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Released in 1997 for the PlayStation 1 and in 1998, but only in Japan for the Saturn, Castlevania is an absolute masterpiece. So let's talk about, and let's go to Dracula's Castle. Symphony of the Night is a direct sequel to Rondo of Blood, taking place 4 years after. You play as Alucard, who is Dracula's son. And something that I didn't know until just recently was Alucard is actually Dracula spelled backwards. I mean, there's going to be lots of gamers out there that are going to be like, how'd you not know that? Well, I just figured that out recently, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, it was pretty cool that they did that in this Castlevania series to have his name kind of inverted from Dracula. It's also one of the games that coined the genre Metroidvania. The other game was Super Metroid, of course. The gameplay in this game is a little different than other Castlevania games, or certain other Castlevania games. It's a little bit more non-linear, and it also has RPG elements added to it. It's got quite an interesting menu system where you can go in, you can adjust Alucard's armor, weapons. He has levels that he levels up. I'm a big RPG fan, so having some of that in this game actually makes it that much more enjoyable. Now let's talk about the music. The music in Castlevania Symphony of the Night is something to behold. It makes the game so much better. I mean, I was playing it and my wife a couple of times was like, what is that music? That is so beautiful. Like, what are you playing right now? And I have to agree, the music makes this game that much better. It is some of the best music I've heard in gaming. I mean, there's a lot of good music in gaming, let's be honest, but that music in Castlevania puts everything together in that game. This game's an absolute classic, and it's always on the lists of some of the greatest games of all time. I am so glad to have finally finished it after many unsuccessful tries. I always got to the part, and if you know, in this game, and it gets really, really hard. And I had put it down many times in the past, and I finally got past it this time. And it just gives me all the feels inside because I now can finally say I finished it. And I'm so happy to say that. And that's a wrap on episode 1 of Games I Finished. I hope, again, as always, that you guys are playing something amazing. And thank you again for all your support. It's inspiring for sure. The comments, the questions, everything. When you guys reach out to me, it just is amazing for me. Tell me down below what you're playing. If you're playing something amazing, I'd love to hear about it. And I'll see you at the next video.